Hey, ARESxGOD here, and it's time to talk about Overlord or Overlord of the Rings, which I gotta say, was it just me or there's heavy influence with Lord of the Rings in this episode? It felt like I was watching the Journey to Moria, but in a different perspective in a way. We had so many fun moments in this episode, both thanks right at the beginning with Demiurge and Albedo. Shaltir was a very big part of this episode, if not the biggest part. Her interactions with Ains and Aura were really good. We also get to talk a bit more about the runes, the dwarves, everything that has been happening also with the Empire. I'm really having so much fun with Overlord with each episode, and I really wished even this one I had the next episode to just hit play instantly. So let's get into it and talk about this episode. Now, right at the beginning, we finally have Demiurge appearing in this season properly. He gets some screen time trying to find Ains to give his report over here, and also saying that he wanted permission to make some moves against the slain theocracy, which I'm really curious what exactly he's planning, as we know he's one, if not the smartest individuals under Ains, one of his most faithful servants also. But he has an inferiority complex, which you even see a bit more in this episode. He considers himself very low compared to Ains, or even maybe some of the others in surrounding him, which I'm so happy that we finally get to see more Demiurge. I feel like I've missed him with Saint Albedo, even her interactions with Ains, with everything that has happened in the Empire, in the other kingdom. But Demiurge also mentioned something very interesting. There's some seventh floor project, which got me really curious. What is that project? I must know. But hopefully in the next few episodes we're gonna find out. Now, Albedo suggested he sends a message if it's urgent, but he didn't really, wasn't an urgency, which I liked quite a lot that he was so honest about it. He wanted some praise also from Ains, from his efforts. Shows how much value he puts on Ains's opinion, and the interactions between him and Albedo, both taking jobs at each other over there, but at the same time having a lot of mutual respect. Even Albedo saying that while she said that Ains might be unpleased with his plans, it still kind of worked out in the same general way that Demiurge wanted, because the Empire had that offer for them to become a vassal empire. Because Demiurge also thought about it, but it would have required the exact same thing that Ains did. But he didn't want to be the one to ask somebody that he views so much highly than himself to do his bidding, so to say, or do his plan in the way needed to be done to make Ains actually take action. But Ains just did it without any regards to Demiurge's plan, which shocked him completely over there. Even it only took 3 days. Now, what I liked quite a lot was when Albedo said that they got the order, so to say, from Ains that both Albedo and Demiurge decide what to do with the Empire, and telling Demiurge that Ains trusts you. He has put his faith in you. That shows how much respect at the same time Ains has for both of them. But also Albedo, despite all of the jobs, she's still very highly and thinks respects Demiurge and thinks he is very capable, even though they butt heads quite a lot. This episode, I liked how much emphasis was put not on Ains but his servants, the ones that are working under him, showing having faithful and very capable servants matters quite a lot. But it's also not that simple, because each and every single one of them has their own quirks. Demiurge has this inferiority complex. Albedo has that love tweaking that happened in the first few episodes of Overlord, and now we have Shaltir, which she wants to redeem herself as to what happened in the past. Now the journey starts tomorrow, so to say, to the Dwarven kingdom. Ains making preparations with Cocytus also, which is probably also very, very faithful, but to the letter over there, he really feels like a military general, so to say. Very, very hard on himself also, especially, and always thinking to show overwhelming force. He wanted to basically invade the dwarves, but Ains stopped him there because he was just curious about the runes, wanted to establish friendly relationship. So he's gonna have Aura as the bodyguard, and Shaltir is gonna be there as the support, and one of the lizard people, Zenberu, is gonna be the guide, which I'm very happy because in previous seasons they kind of spent way too much time on lizards and goblin. There were quite a few too many episodes spent on their development, so to say. I like it just seeing them, of course, but not focused on them that much. And I gotta give credit to Zenberu. He actually had the courage to ask, to question a bit of the decision, saying if Ains is going there to truly be friendly, establish friendly relationship. Cocytus got a bit mad, but calm down, Cocytus, is okay. But Ains reassured him, saying, hey, yes, we're going there to be friends, unless, always keep that in mind, unless something happens, they attack, and things go a different route, so to say. And this was probably one of the funniest moments in the episode. Cocytus, somebody of your stature should stay down when you're having long conversation. I was like, Cocytus gonna give him a chair, and then it made sense. He offers himself as a chair. I knew what's coming right after that second because he overheard what happened with Shaltir. He wanted to also do it. And you had in the background Shaltir becoming very, very jealous. Especially when Cocytus asked which chair is better, myself or Shaltir. Are we ever gonna get the answer? I don't know, but I think Shaltir definitely has a new fetish after that chair moment. But on a serious moment, I liked when they swapped from all of the community things, showing how guilty Shaltir feels about what happened. Even though it wasn't her fault, shows how much pressure she put on herself, especially in this episode, wants to redeem herself and willing to do anything and everything over here. And at the same time, what I liked quite a lot, what Ains said when we saw the flashback with him asking Aura to be the bodyguard and also bringing Shaltir there. And Aura said, do you want to annihilate the dwarfs? No, no. Even though Shaltir might be the most powerful, she was made to be the most powerful guardian, having that label as the most powerful can stun somebody's growth and limit them, because you always say, I'm the most powerful. Where do you even go from here? You can see the smile that Aura also had, because it showed that Ains didn't really fault Shaltir for what happened, and he still believes in her, and showed how much he also cares about all of them, or at least that's how I said. And even Aura liked that request quite a lot. He wants Shaltir to grow, to get past that blockade, and I feel like that moment might have been a blessing in disguise for Shaltir to help her growth quite a lot, because if you only know winning and being the most powerful, you never grow, you always stagnate, so to say. And this was probably one of my favorite moments in the episode. And there was a funny moment when they're getting ready to leave. The lizard girl, I honestly forgot her name, let me know down in the comments below. She was hugging her child, quite a bit scared, looking at Ains, and the inner monologue or comment that Ains made, I'm not gonna snatch your kid unless it's very rare and you have a lot more of them. I would want one. Because why not? Why sure, get a lizard kid there. Now, the landscape they showcased while traveling was looking really good, especially the campsite where they stopped. That looked so good. I would love to spend a night in a spot like that. He shocked everybody when, you go at a campsite when you travel as a military or anything, you just put up tents and things like that, or in the open field. But no, he just literally raised the fortress. ARESxGOD over there. Saruman would have been proud from the ground. So much Lord of the Rings I kept seeing in this episode. The journey to Moria, ARESxGOD, dwarves, mines. But yeah, that was a fun, nice, small moment. Now we have Ains thinking about everything that happened, and kind of giving credit to Demiurge for the how things worked out with the Empire wanting to become a vassal weapon, thinking that Demiurge must have done something in the background. So I think he did it. Demiurge thinking that Ains did it. I think thinking that Demiurge thinking. One of the things that makes Overlord such a fun series. I liked quite a lot that moment. Now this is where Aura sees Shaltir kind of like a sister, but a dumb sister, because Aura tried to get Shaltir to see what Ains was trying to do for her, explaining to her, hey, you're here to learn, get over what happened, giving Shaltir quite very good advice. But Shaltir kind of took it literally, and she was nothing, taking notes of everything that Ains said, did, probably even movement of the clothes, or literally every small detail, or asking, is that helpful for you? Yes, it's very helpful. Of course. But I really liked Aura's and Shaltir's interactions over there, and this is a very important moment for Shaltir. This is why I feel like she was the main part of this episode, and we're gonna talk a bit more about that towards the end. Now they finally reach the entrance to Moria. I'm sending in Hanzo the ninjas to check everything out. Apparently the city was empty except somebody who was mining very deep. This is where we have Aura, which I liked Aura quite a lot in this episode, also scaring the single dwarf that was inside there. He instantly tried to make himself invisible, even though Aura could still see him. And I know I keep saying this, but I really liked all of the characters in this episode. Even this new one we meet, the dwarf, he was very talkative, very helpful. He saw Aura as a kid. He even wanted to protect Aura, giving information very easily, saying that they moved to a different city 3 years ago. We find out his name, Gondo Firebeard, and the instant reaction he had there when he saw Ains scared to death, but which I gotta give him immense credit and appreciate him quite a lot. He was scared to see this monster undead instantly appear in front of him. He didn't just try to run away, he actually tried to grab Aura's hand, which I gotta give you a lot of credit for that. Gondo, just somebody you met randomly, you have no idea who, what, where, what they want over there. He still tried to help Aura, which meant quite a lot to me. Even though it wasn't needed, it still meant quite a lot there. Now, he kind of formed the connection a bit with Ains, everything they've been through, started talking about runes, Ains showing a bit of the runes that he knew. I think was one Lago, a mid-tier runes, and apparently there's very few runesmith left. He is also part of a famous runesmithing family. Now the reason why there's very few runesmithing left, it's we also had this happen in the real world, where an old craftsmanship, an old job, an old technology gets left behind or abandoned when something new shows up. And in this case it was Magic Caster found a way to enchant items with magic as opposed to runes. Now there's some advantages to runecrafting. It's very cheap now. I don't know which one would be better. Hopefully we're gonna get more details as to the intricacy of both of the systems. I'm sorry, I can barely talk anymore, but unfortunately Gondo doesn't have the skill for it. He kind of a complex for him because he didn't inherit the talent that his father had, but he still believes in the legacy, the ancestors, what they did with the rune crafting. He still wants to bring it back, the name of it, the name of his ancestors also. And Ains felt a connection with him in that moment, thinking of all his guild members, protecting their names and things like that. And this is why he offered his support, of course also for his own convenience. That's why he was there. And the proposition, I'm gonna make you an offer you can't refuse. And Gondo, are you prepared to sell your soul to me? Like straight up said that to Gondo. And yeah, he said, I will. If my measly soul is okay for you, you can have it. You can see how much it means to him. That I hope we're gonna see more of Gondo and he's gonna become a part of Nazarick. Who knows? Maybe that's gonna happen. But this is where things get a bit more interesting. There's some conflict. Apparently, some demi-humans show up. Some Quagoa. I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing the name. Some creatures that they eat metal, and the rare the metal is that they eat, the stronger they become. At first I thought they were just mindless creature eating, sort of like a swarm coming in, and apparently they were the reason why the dwarves had to move to a different city. But I was a bit surprised when we see that they were actually able to talk, so they are sentient and intelligent. I don't know how intelligent, hopefully we're gonna find out more about them. This is where Ains wants to capture them, and this is why I'm saying Shaltir was the focus of this episode, because she was ordered to capture them. She uses the Hanzo shadows to help her. Some of this mass hold species technique that she uses spell, being able to taunt or hold in place creatures. She has control over monsters in a way. She very easily captures them. They couldn't even damage her. Would have been surprised if they could have done anything against Shaltir, let's be honest. They start questioning them, but they weren't really willing to talk, and this is where she used charm species, being able to charm the leader of the beasts. They're taming them in a way with some roleplay by Ains, who pretends to be Shaltir's servant because that creature assumed that the undead in the back is the servant and Shaltir is the master. The face she made was, no, that's and Ains playing along with it. Poor Shaltir. That was a fun moment again, and she did very good. I really hope she's gonna be able to pass the blockade she has after what happened with her being controlled also, and hopefully we're gonna find out who or how exactly they were able to do that to her. Now they find out that they're part of the clan of Lord Euro. I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing the name, and they're already moving against the dwarves to destroy them, which got me very excited for the next episode. I'm curious, why are they trying to destroy the dwarves? Is somebody behind them, controlling them? Maybe the Slain Theocracy is involved, or some other mastermind, I don't know. But I don't really see these creatures being the planning type, so to say. I see them as some tools. Even though they're able to talk, I don't have the feeling of them being some opponent that Ains is gonna have any difficulty against them. So somebody else might be using these creatures to move against the dwarves, which I'm really curious who that might be. But overall, it was a really good episode. I got a lot of Lord of the Rings vibes from it. Very focused on Shaltir also, which I liked quite a lot. Also some foreshadowing a bit, especially at the beginning with that 7th floor project and the moves that Demiurge is trying to do against the Slain Theocracy. This new plot, so to say, with the doors, which I hope we're gonna get to see their city very soon. But yeah, overall a really fun episode. I'm having so much fun with the series. I'm curious what you guys thought about the episode so far. What was your favorite moment? Can you imagine Ains holding a lizard kid in his arms? But yeah, and what do you think about the series so far in season 4? We have had 5 episodes, so let me know in the comments below what you guys thought about the episode, the series so far. And as always, thank you very much for watching. Remember to like and subscribe, helps me quite a lot, and you guys get the latest videos on the series that I follow. So keep enjoying Overlord. I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.